Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into the live stream. $90 billion is on the table. A lot of you guys, as small business owners and entrepreneurs, you actually leave this funding on the table. So, in this live stream, we're going to go over my general what a grant is, how to search and apply, sorry, for grants. And also, I'm going to show you some grants. Yesterday, I was trying to show you guys some grants. So, hopefully, today we can actually go over these grants together. I'm going to share my screen. Any questions that you might have, of course, you can drop them in the chat or in the comments if you're watching afterwards. Also, I have a affordable grant writing sale right now where I will apply to a grant for you for just $37. So if that is something you're interested in, you can click the link in the description. You can scan the QR code that's here in the top left-hand corner of the screen, and you'll be able to have access to get started with having me to apply to the grant for you. All right. So without further ado, let's talk a little bit about grants really quick, and then I will share my screen. So a small business grant is a reward that you can receive. It's free money that you can actually get. And this free money that you can get it from like a big company like Amazon, Apple, Google. They give out this free money. And also, you can get a small business grant that is state and locally funded. You can also get a small business grant from any foundation or private investor that is giving out grants. Okay, so small business grants is very important that you prioritize going for that type of funding because it's non-dilutive, which means you don't have to pay it back and there's no credit checks or any personal information needed like your social security number. Okay, so this is actual funding that you can get for free to help you start or scale your business. Most small business owners, matter of fact, 89% of small business owners don't go for grants simply because they might feel like grants is a waste of time, or they might feel like they don't know much about grants, right? So you're not confident in your answers, or you simply don't know how to search and apply to grants. And another reason could be you don't have the time. All right, you actually don't have the time to submit grants. That's the purpose of me offering the affordable grant writing services that I do have. I've been writing grants and winning grants for 11 years. I've won millions of dollars in grants, and I travel the world talking about international grants and small business grants that are based out of for businesses that are based out of the United States. Now, grants are not wasting your time. There's other perks and deals that actually come with you actually submitting the grant application. You can get things like mentorship, also, of course, the money, right? And you can also get like ad credit, right? They can help you out with advertising your business to different markets. So there's so many additional perks that come with actually searching and applying to grants. So I don't want you guys to continue to leave over $90 billion on the table. I said $90 billion get left on the table because 89% of you all who are entrepreneurs are actually not going for this grant funding. Now, there is different levels to this. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Um, there is different levels to actually winning grants. Okay, so let's say, for example, when you are going for those grants that are funded by big companies like Amazon, Google, Apple, Macy's, Sephora, Ulta Beauty, Home Depot, those grants are actually for nationwide entrepreneurs. So what I mean by that is your competition pool is going to be much greater because it is for all business owners and entrepreneurs that are based in the United States versus going for a grant that is state and local funded. You can go for a grant, let's say, for example, that you might live in Fulton County, Georgia, which is essentially Atlanta, right? Well, if you live in that particular city, state, town, or zip code, they might be giving out $10,000 grants or multiple thousands of dollars worth of small business grants for you all in that particular city, town, state, and zip code. And what that does is that type of funding it operates more like a first come, first serve opportunity. And also it allows you to have a smaller competition pool. So I know some of you guys are applying to grants, especially the grants that you see us post on Instagram, TikTok, and here on YouTube, and you're actually not winning. Well, it's very imperative and important that you actually go for grants that give you a high chance at actually winning, aka applying to what's called high probability grants. So you might be more in favor of those state and locally funded grant opportunities, okay? The grants that are funded by big companies like Apple, Amazon, and Google, those grants are nationwide. The competition pool is much greater. And you would actually be able to notice that they choose winners based off of a random raffle. So they might randomly pick out of the applicants. Or they might do things like a pitch competition where you have to stand in front of a panel of judges and you have to pitch your business and explain what your business does, how impactful it is, and how impactful it will be if you were funded. So you do have those options there. But the first come first serve small business grant opportunities that a lot of you guys are more interested in. You want to be able to apply to a grant where you pretty much get it as long as you are in alignment with the actual qualifications. First come first serve. You would actually get those type of grants from your state and local governments. Now, how do you find those grants, right? So I find state and local government grants by doing a simple Google search. So I would visit Google and I would say, find me grants that are located in Miami-Dade County for my woman-owned minority business. And what will happen is Google will bring up a list of different foundations that that fund Black women or Black women businesses in Miami-Dade County. And a lot of the times there are foundations that are state funded and federally funded. So that is what I would do to find those local grants. Now, you can also find those grants by visiting grantwatch.com, right? So grantwatch.com, I'll put it here on the screen for you. Grantwatch.com is a place where you can find all types of grants. So I love grantwatch.com. It does require you to pay a $50 a month subscription, so just keep that in mind. But I do love grantwatch.com. It's a grant search engine that you can use to find all types of grants that are nationwide or even state and locally funded. Okay. So you can visit grantwatch.com. You can also use HelloSkip. Now, HelloSkip is actually not a grant search engine, so I would not choose that as my first option. HelloSkip is actually a federally certified nonprofit organization that actually helps small businesses and entrepreneurs scale and have funding opportunities. So they have a dashboard of grants that you can actually apply to. And you just need to go through the grants in their carousel and see if you qualify for one of those grants, and then you would take it from there. Okay. So you have HelloSkip. Some of you all know about Hello Alice. Hello Alice is the same as HelloSkip. It's a federally certified nonprofit organization as well that offers a list of grants that you can apply to through their site. They also collaborate with a lot of foundations like, FedEx, right? And DoorDash and all these other places to give out grants through their nonprofit platform. Okay. So you have them. And then, of course, grants.gov. Okay. Grants.gov is pretty much the number one website for all government grant opportunities that you can actually go for. That's for high ticket grant opportunities. So if you are already in business generating revenue and you have a project that you're working on that aligns with whatever the government, the federal government or your state and local governments are giving out, you can visit grants.gov. Usually you have to be a seasoned business to go for those type of high ticket grants. Grants.gov offer grants that are usually about $300,000 or let's say $250,000 or better. So you would see those multi-million-dollar grants inside of grants.gov. Okay, so that's the U.S. government website for grants. All right. Of course, if you have any questions, definitely drop your questions in the chat and your concerns so that way I can make sure I'm helping you out. I want to thank you all so much for joining me in here. Thank you so much for being consistent and being here as well with me. It's such a pleasure to have you with me. All right, make sure you like the live stream as you're coming in so that way the YouTube algorithm can push out this good information to every entrepreneur who deserves to know this free good information. Okay. All right, so a grant is free money that you can get, no credit checks, no personal information needed for your small business. It's very important that you know how to identify your business. So you identify the stage of your business, meaning you need to know what stage you are in your company so you can narrow down to the best grant opportunities that serve in your favor. So you might be in your idea phases. The idea stage is where you have the idea, but you have not invested yet. You have not registered through the state. You don't have a business bank account. You also don't have an internet presence or anything like that yet. So you're in your idea phases. They do have grants for that, but it's not a lot of small grants for idea stage businesses. Then you have a startup. So a startup is when you've actually registered your company through the state. You have an EIN number. You open up a business bank account. You are starting to get your internet presence. You might have things like a LinkedIn or a Facebook page, but you have not generated revenue yet. And you might be working on your website. So that's the startup phase. A small business is one that has all of those things, including a website, and you're actually starting to generate small revenue, but you want to scale your small business. And out of the three that I just named, there is, of course, a lot more grants available for small businesses, because small businesses who are already generating revenue can actually show what's called traction. Traction is very important in 2026 for small business funding. They want to know what stage where are you in your growth process? They want to know what efforts did you already put in to start growing your business and to get your products and services out there. So it's very important that you actually have the ability to show the traction in your answers when you're answering these grant questions. So that way they can know how impactful your business will be once you are funded a grant. Okay. All right, awesome. So any questions about what I just said? I want to bring up some grants here. I'm not going to take up much of your time today, but I do want to just kind of go over some grants. I found some really cool grants that I wanted to go over yesterday, but for some reason I was having a challenging time with the internet. So I'm hoping today we get a chance to go through our grants today. But any questions, please drop them in the chat. Don't hesitate. I'm here for you to make sure that you receive all of the help that you need for applying to grants. I want to know something. Have you guys been actually applying to grants? And if so, what has your experience been like so far? Okay. So, okay, I think that's all. Okay. What to do if I haven't gotten started? What do you mean by that question? If you can elaborate a little bit more, Frederica, what to do if I haven't got started? Are you asking like, what do you mean by that? Sorry, Fred. Are you asking like what does it take for you to like is it worldwide or only in America? So a lot of the grants that I'm going to be talking about today is for United States based businesses. But if you are looking to apply to grants and you are actually international, like small business grants, then it's depending on which country you are, there are international grants available. I noticed that the grants for international businesses, you must already be still established and registered through your local government. So you have to register your business. And also you need to have things like a business plan. Um, and I would say a business plan, a pitch deck, and a pitch video. I noticed that with international grants, they want to have a video of what you are selling or the services you're selling. They want to know what you plan to do with the money. So the business plan will come in handy with that. Okay. I hope I answered your question. Any other questions before I show you guys these grants? So there is 2 grants that we're going to go over that is for nonprofits, and then the rest of them are pretty much for small businesses. Yeah. Okay, let me, because I don't want to go over that. Hello, honey. Fine. My husband just walked in the house. Sorry, y'all. French. I hope I'm saying it right. Guyane or Guyane. I have already declared, but not yet working. Okay. So yeah, I don't know about your specific state. I'm sorry. I'm being fully transparent. I don't have education in knowing what grants look like in your particular country. So I'm so sorry that I can't assist you in that moment. But if we were like on a 101, then I would actually do some research about it. But majority of us that is here on this live stream, we actually live and our businesses are based out of the United States. And a lot of the small business grants I talk about are for US based companies. Hmm. But you can always do a Google search. You're never, I would never steer you far from a Google search. All right, we got that one. Um, Scale to my, hold on. We got one. I might have one that's for international. So if you want to hold on, it's called Scale to Miami, fueling global innovators through a 4-phase growth program, strategic investment. Whether you're a local founder or an international entrepreneur targeting the US market, Scale to Miami is your getaway to Miami's high growth tech ecosystem. So if you have a tech company, they are actually giving out $300,000 in investment. So if you want me to go over that, that's for international based businesses. Um, Making sure I'm pulling up all the correct grants here before I go over and share my screen. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Is there a limit to how many grants you can apply for? Really great question. So, actually, no, there is no limit to how many you can actually apply to. You can apply to as many grants as you need to and as you want to. Matter of fact, the more grants you submit, the better. Ben, to give you a better idea, or Ryan, to give you a better idea of how grants work, right? When you're submitting a grant, like people are using like the Hard Rock betting app and they putting in parlays and they buying scratch offs and they buying lotto tickets every day. Well, those people who are putting in parlays all the time and buying lotto tickets and getting scratch offs and stuff, those people who are gambling every day, they actually have a higher chance at winning on the gambling that they're doing versus somebody who's just not doing it all the time, right? And that's because they're consistently giving themselves a chance. So I want you to have that same mindset when you are actually applying to grants yourself and going for grants. Okay. So, yeah. Thank you for answering. You're welcome. In agriculture and restaurant. Okay, so this is for tech companies. A lot of international grants I notice is actually for, are you trying to distract me? No, no. What? Oh. Did you have a good meeting? Beautiful meeting. Oh, that's why you're just so happy. Okay. I'm hungry too. Just want to let you know. If you can figure that out. Okay. Um, so yeah. A lot of the international grants are for tech companies. Everybody's interested in to tech innovations and tech developments. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and go over some of these grants. 2 of them are for nonprofits, and then of course I don't want you to miss out on the $25,000 UPS grant. So we are going to go over that. I could have sworn I had more, but I think that's what we're going over today. I'll see if I can find any more. That's for everybody, because the majority of these grants that I have on the list, they're very much like targeted for specific areas. And I don't want to start going through different areas. Okay, so, all right, I'm going to share my screen. All right, so the first grant I actually want to go over is for nonprofits. It's actually called the Home Depot Built from Scratch grant. So this Home Depot grant, Home Depot gives out grants, yes. So the Home Depot and the Home Depot Foundation are deeply committed to serving our communities. Click the titles below to learn more about our community programs. They have one for veteran housing, retool your school or path to pro grants. I really like these grant opportunities. Hold on, first of all, let me add it to the stage. Sorry, you guys. Um, I really like these grants that they're showing us and that Home Depot gives out. The one I really am interested in and that I want to go over, and actually one of my clients, she owns a independent living facility specifically for veterans. And so she is not a nonprofit, but she does plan to get her 501c3 nonprofit so that way she can be able to have more grant opportunities both on the for-profit and nonprofit side. But either way, she has built her company specifically for veteran housing grants. I have another client that helps veterans as well as far as in with housing. So this is a really good grant that I wanted to go over and I didn't want us to miss out on. Okay. So the veteran housing grant goes up to $500,000 and you must be a 501c3 in good standing for at least 5 years. So even if you just became a 501c3 nonprofit for helping veterans with housing, this is good. Organizations with a current operating budget of at least $300,000. So they would want a budget item list, knowing what it takes. So this is what this grant is about. It's about like developing housing or acquiring housing for veterans if you are doing independent living facilities for veterans, okay? Organizations with a 15-year ownership stake in development, organizations involved in the continuing of care or local collaboration to end homeless in their community, okay? That's what they're looking for. Organizations with previous experience developing veteran housing and currently managing or own the veteran specific housing. You have to be located in one of these cities. So Los Angeles, Seattle, New York, Houston, Texas, Detroit, Michigan, San Diego, California, Denver, Colorado, Chicago, Illinois, Atlanta, Georgia, and Tampa, Florida. All right. So they're looking for you guys to be in these specific cities. And I think these are like the main cities where Home Depots like make a lot of money and they help out a lot in community development. There's more additional eligibility requirements for the program itself. So you can go through that. You do have to submit what's called a proposal. So they have like a new grant platform. So you would click here, you would register your nonprofit, and then you would start a new application. You will have to submit the proposal. Will I know if the project is approved no later than 45 days after the proposal due date. So the next go round, right, cycle, the second cycle is going to be March 20th. So no later than 45 days after March 20th, of course, that's going to be in quarter two, is when you would actually know. So that will be in August. So August 2026 is when you would know the final determination for receiving the 500,000. Okay. Um, there's additional information. You can contact them as well. So this is for 501c3 nonprofits that is looking for, up to $500,000 in grant funding to help them develop housing to help veterans, okay? Especially if you are in the independent housing space and you actually live in one of these specific cities and states, okay? So I think that this is an amazing grant opportunity that should not be slept on or should not be put to the side. If you know someone who is doing an independent living facility for veterans, who is doing something with housing for veterans, please make sure that they know about that grant, okay? And I'll put the link here in the chat for you guys. The next one I want to go over is for these, it's for nonprofits as well, and then I'll get to us as for-profit business owners. The next one I want to go over is called the City Foundation grant. This grant is absolutely amazing, just like the Home Depot grant is awesome. So Citi Foundation primarily provides funding through open requests for proposals, so that's RFPs. This model enables us to engage and support a broad range of organizations across the globe to tackle some of the most pressing social issues of our time. Each RFP launch is accompanied, yes, by detailed information on goals, selection criteria, and relevant. I don't even have it up, so hold on. I'm reading off and relevant application deadlines. Okay, so Citi, if you guys know about Citi is actual bank in the United States, but they actually have a nonprofit called Citi Foundations where they actually give out grants. So this grant is actually really good. Let me see about the community finance. So they are actually they're doing this for a community finance initiative. So the Citi Foundation, the purpose of this grant, and I'll bring it up to, I won't read the whole entire summary here, but basically saying the whole purpose of this program, right? It says, despite major gains in access to financial services, households across the United States continue to face increasing financial instability driven by rising housing costs, higher prices for essential goods and services, and greater exposure of financial risk. The financial strain on many American families is significant. And so, reading through that, the whole entire purpose for this grant is to give funding to foundations, nonprofit organizations that are helping out or that are advancing low income household financial resilience. So that means you are a program that helps low income households to build financial skills and confidence to manage daily finances. So you're teaching them about financial coaching, budgeting, credit, debt reduction, saving strategies, all of that good stuff. You're also a nonprofit program to help low income households build and repair their credit, as well as short and long term financial assets. So you do things like provide financial products and services for credit building and credit repair, initiatives to increasing savings and including emergency funds, support for home ownership. So you might do like first time home buyer readiness program or whatever have you. Or you are a program that protects low income households financial security by preventing and addressing financial losses. So you're providing them with education on financial tools, providing them with education on fraud and scam awareness, right? So the funding opportunity is they're awarding 70 nonprofit organizations with $500,000 in grants to be dispersed over 2 years. That's totaling $35 million in total that Citi Foundation is giving out this money, okay? And so the full application stage, no later than May 2026 is when they're actually going to, which is when you would actually be funded in May, right? The deadline date for the letter of intent is actually today. To create a letter of inquiry is literally just, you could click there, you could literally just respond to them saying, hey, this is what we do. We, introducing yourself, the services that you offer as a nonprofit and how you're impactful and how this $500,000 grant opportunity, how you are interested in actually applying to it. Then what happens is in the next stage is that they would give you the permission to actually submit the grant application itself. And you have no later than May to submit the application. Then in September 2026, is when they would actually fund you. And that's how it works. You need to be in one of these specific markets. Of course, either in Florida, Connecticut, California, Illinois, Maryland, Nevada, New Jersey, New York, Puerto Rico, South Dakota, Virginia, and West Washington, D.C. So if you are in any of these specific markets or and counties, right, you can qualify for getting this $500,000 grant. This is only for nonprofits. You have to be a 501c3, of course, and you must be helping out individuals with developing their financial literacy. All right. Okay, and then another one that I want to go over, I'm going to put that city group inside of the chat just in case you guys, you know, you guys are interested, you know somebody who's helping out in those key areas. The next one I want to go over, of course, is the UPS $25,000 Small Business Challenge. Of course, this is one that you don't want to miss out on. Okay, the deadline date is coming up. We're coming up on it in a few days. We have by February 22nd to submit. So make sure you guys are submitting for the $25,000 opportunity. How it works is they will actually choose 9 finalists. Once they choose the 9 finalists, then they will pair you with mentors to help you with developing your pitch and giving you a variety of common skills to teach you how to run a business, such as marketing, staffing, operations, and the company culture. Then they go through a voting phase with the 9 semifinalists, and then they choose the top 3. The top 3 will actually pitch in Texas. And during the pitch competition, they would actually choose their ultimate grand prize winner of $25,000. And the rest of the other 2 contestants will receive $5,000 each. Okay. So that's actually how it works. If you want me to, I'll just play this quick video so you can see just a little bit about how it works for the Small Business Challenge. Okay, awesome. So that is the $25,000 UPS Small Business Challenge grant that you all can go for. Okay. I've talked about that a lot of times and it's available right now. You have by February 22nd. If you don't have time to actually submit the grant for either that $25,000 opportunity or so many more that you qualify for, I offer right now a Grantfully grant writing sale. It's affordable. I will submit one grant for you for just $37. So if that's something you're interested in, you can click the link in the description or scan this QR code here in the top left-hand corner. Also, you can always schedule a one-on-one consultation with me. In the consultation, you will tell me about your business. I will tell you if your business qualifies for a grant or not. We'll go over how to prepare you for grants, and then we'll talk more about strategizing on how you can start making sales and start actually generating revenue now, so that way you can increase your chances of approvals with all other funding opportunities. So the one-on-one consultation is a 60-minute consultation, and it's super worth it. And we strategize together, and I just give you a lot of clarity and reassurance and motivation that you may need to keep moving forward and keep pushing forward and striving for success. Okay. Any questions before I let you guys go for the day? I really do appreciate you guys joining me, being here with me. I don't take it for granted at all. So thank you so much for being with me. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to drop your questions in the chat. You guys, I'm currently working on a pitch deck, and I don't know if I should show it to you, but I'm like really doing my thing on this pitch deck. It's for my client. It's so awesome. It's so amazing. He needs a pitch deck, so that way, because we're going for high ticket funding. But I feel like every business actually needs a pitch deck. That's a PowerPoint presentation. Yeah. Um, No, no. What is that? What is that? Oh, why do you shake it? It's soda, right? Or no? Malt? It's soda? I don't like the way it tastes. I did a consultation. Okay. I did a consultation. It was definitely worth it just to see where I'm at with everything. Thank you, Ryan. And I'm praying for you, bro. So, and thank you so much. I also applied to a grant for him as well. So, if you guys didn't know. What do you need to fix your credit before applying for grant? Actually, grants do not check your credit. So you don't have to worry, Wendy. You don't have to worry about your credits being checked at all for small business grants. They are not running your personal information like your social security number. So you don't have to worry about those things with grants. That's what I love. One of the uh, besides it's free money, you don't have to pay it back. That's one of the like top things I love about grants. You don't have to worry about any credit inquiries or anything like that. Okay. So yeah. So you don't need to worry about trying to fix your credit before going for small business grant opportunities because there is no credit checks for small business grants. Any other questions? You're very welcome. The pitch deck that I am doing, I'm really excited about. I'm so excited. I can't wait until he sees it. I can't share it with you guys until he sees it. But oh my gosh, it looks great. And he has like video testimonials that I added in. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Absolutely chef's kiss. I have another business plan and pitch deck that I have to do as well. So awesome. Finally caught alive. Hey, thanks so much for joining. Any questions? Do you have any questions about small business grants? We're actually wrapping it up early today. Kind of been busy all morning. And for me, it's like in the afternoon and I'm hungry. So I want to make sure I answer all of you guys' questions. I'll give you like one more minute and then we're going to wrap up. What you eating?
Sure. I'm making some pasta.
Pasta?
The round ones.
What ones?
The small ones.
Elbow noodles?
Huh?
Elbow noodles.
Is that what you call them?
The ones that look like this?
Yes. Right.
That's why we call them elbow noodles because. Did I tell you I'm going viral on TikTok?
You what?
I'm going viral on TikTok right now.
What did you do?
Because I said on TikTok that there's some things in Nigeria that I would not buy as a Black American.
Oh,
so I named the curtains because I got upset about the curtains. No, the comments, they all agree with me. So I named the curtains. I talked about I named the curtains, MTN. Oh my gosh, when I talked about MTN, that was it, the network.
MTN is terrible.
And what else I said? An ironing board. I don't know why ironing board costs so much here. So I had so many people. Like the video is like over 30,000 views right now, and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to go viral on TikTok. Okay, so my nonprofit just got reinstated. I need grants with no history required. I don't have tax returns. Okay. So yeah, there's grants that you can go for. Absolutely. We just the grants that I literally just went over, you do have to be like established. But Yeah, there are grants for your nonprofit with no history. It's kind of hard though. It is quite challenging because they do want you to already have that initiative and already showing that you have, you have some sort of growth and you've already been helping people, right? Especially with nonprofits, it's kind of like, we don't want to just give you money and we don't know your history. Like, we don't know if you're serious. We don't know. You can't show us pictures or testimonials of you helping people. So for the grantors, it can be quite challenging, especially when you are applying to a grant and your competition already has that history. In most cases, your competition does have that history and can actually show, or if they don't have the history or whatever have you, they collaborate with quality, um, you know they have quality contracts and quality other foundations that can back them up. You understand? So that's another thing too with nonprofits. You guys, is like your main funding that you need to focus on is actual donations. So you need to create an event and get people together in the local park or like an event space or whatever have you, and get as many people to come in and just start donating funding, and then that's also a way that you can show some traction as well. Okay, awesome. Great talk. I talk a lot more and I collaborate. What we have in our one-on-one consultations, I give you more strategies for nonprofits and for profits on like how to start generating that revenue, because it's very important that you're able to show growth. Okay. You're very welcome. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to let you go for the rest of your morning or day. Enjoy your day. Have a great day. And make sure you share this video with someone so that way they can know about some grants they can apply to. Okay. Love you guys and peace and blessings. Bye bye for now.